Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your weekly tarot reading by myself, your tarot translator. My name is Ariel. If this is your first time here, welcome. If it's not, thanks for coming back. So your very first card to come out today, which we're going to put on this board as our overall overlying messages energy that we're going to read back to after the tarot comes out. The very first one that came out for you today is the Six of Pentacles. This card has to do with repeated cycles. It could also be interpreted as some sort of breadcrumbing situation, giving to more than one person, or just trying to understand like where your or the person who you're dealing with energy is really supposed to be. The second card to come out for you today, Cancer, is too hard. Okay, you believe that it has to be hard, but it doesn't. Let love flow naturally in your life. Wow, that's a very deep message. I think the overall collective needs to remember. Love sometimes, if depending on your attachment style, right? Anxious attached, anxious avoidant, everything in between. It can sometimes feel like if there isn't that sort of like push-pull dynamic, that it's boring, or that it's like just not enough, or that something's missing. And this overall message that's coming forward to me so rapidly here, which isn't common. I usually need a little bit more cards in order to really like resonate with what's going on and sort of decipher. But here I'm getting very quickly that there is a pattern in your life, Cancer, where if things feel too easy, it's almost like you don't trust it. If things feel like they are too easy, you almost have a hard time trusting that reality. So the next card I'm going to pull is one of these, and this is just going to give us like an overall vibration. Gosh, you're pulling cards very fast, Cancer. I'm trying to keep up with you. Adversity. I accept the challenges are the best way to learn. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Okay, so what that says to me, again, as we're reading this as a storyline, is Six of Pentacles, giving into two situations possibly, or past karmic loops that are resonating in your head, sort of going back and forth. Too hard, talking about how you as a collective, Cancer, might be experiencing a situation where like you're not used to soft love, you're not used to stability and secure attachment, and you might almost, like, whether you like to admit it or not, be in a space where those past wounds, past relationship dynamics, your childhood, whatever, is coming to you from a place of adversity, has taught you that like things that are too good to be true are just that, too good to be true. Let's pull one from here. I'm called to this deck. I want to see how it resonates with you. Let's see, what has Cancer got? Sweethearts. Courtship, romance, honeymoon stage. Okay, yeah, this is all a very, very clear storyline for me. So what we've got going on here, Cancer, for you, my love, I'm totally in touch with what you're feeling right now. You are so scared that this person, whomever is in your orbit, whoever is like circling around you, is just going to be another disappointment. Because what your storyline has taught you so far is that you give, the reciprocity isn't there. If it's not hard, then it isn't love. If there isn't adversity, then how do you know that it's true love? Like, without the chaos, how do you feel comfortable melding into the reality that like it's safe and secure? So, okay, we're going to put these cards aside for a moment and we're going to jump into the tarot, and I'm going to ask the tarot your past, present, future, overlying, like incoming energy. Remember, some things will resonate with you, some things won't. This is like seriously an exercise in self-discipline, discernment, and self-meditation. I am not some oracle on the hill that can give you all the answers to everything, but I will give you a message today, I promise, that will resonate with you on some level. So the first three cards to pull out for the recent past, Cancer, are in the order that they came out in: the Empress, highest suit in the tarot, the Five of Swords, serious mental like dislog, and then the Lovers. That's your first three cards that came out in the recent past. Let's go to the present energy. What is Cancer's present energy that they're in right now? 3 cards, please. 10 of Wands, something's really heavy. Page of Swords, you're reflecting, you're looking back, you're studying the person or the objective or, you know, whatever the situation was that just recently happened. And the Fool, new beginning. What is the future outcome for Cancer in the current energy? We've got Page of Wands, followed by the Ace of Swords, some big truth. And lastly, we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so let me clarify these 3 cards and then I will translate them to you. Give me a clarification card for the Empress, please. Thank you. The Hermit. The Empress is in deep contemplation. 5 of Swords. Give me, thank you. Of course it falls on the floor. 7 of Swords. Contemplation over some sort of betrayal, some sort of energy that's just disaligned with you. What's the Lovers? 8 of Pentacles. So fear, sort of like, in the recent past, let's just show you the cards really quick before we clarify the rest of them. First card you had was the Empress. She's the highest suit in the tarot. She does not mess around. She knows what she wants. She is worthy of everything that she asks for. Before the Lovers, you actually had the 5 of Swords. So you were contemplating something in the recent past here that had to do with giving your full Ace of Cups love to another human being, another soul tie. And ultimately, to clarify them, the first card to clarify the Empress was, in fact, the Hermit, which talks about like a deep, deep, deep contemplation. What was that deep contemplation about? It was about the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords always has to do with some sort of lie, betrayal, mistrust, feeling that like somebody just isn't giving you their straight shot about what's going on. The 8 of Pentacles, which came out last, has to do with like working really hard, really, really hard on whatever situation, relationship, person, place, or thing that this is referring to. In the current energy, Cancer, we have the 10 of Wands, followed by the Page of Swords, followed by the Fool. What is the 10 of Wands? Clarify the 10 of Wands for me, please. Okay, we've got the 3 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands talks about something being really heavy on your spirit, something that's just like, gosh, this feels like I'm climbing up a freaking mountain with a ton of bricks in my backpack. And then the 3 of Wands talks about like, I just want to get to somewhere that's like for me, calmer, less heavy. I want to have the freedom to feel a little lighter in my life. And I can see that, whether that's, you know, moving to a different space, allowing love in, being in a space of just like trust is really hard for you. You're a Cancer. You got a tough shell. Let's see. What's Page of Swords for the Cancer today? What's the clarification? If I have to keep bending over to grab these cards, I'm going to shut off the video. I'm just kidding. I won't do that. Okay. So, King of Wands. So the Page of Swords talks about somebody who is reflecting on their past. Somebody who is really looking back and studying the person or place or thing that they're contemplating. The King of Wands is saying, I don't put up with what I don't want to put up with. And your final card here in the present moment is the Fool, which talks about new beginnings. So something about this like heavy backpack, wanting it to be lighter, looking back and reflecting on where things were always so difficult in the past. And King of Wands just very much like decisive energy, knowing that what you want you deserve it, right? And the Fool is clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. So a new cycle, Cancer. There's something here about the Fool card to the Wheel of Fortune. And both of those cards very much resonate with the idea and the concept of new beginnings, right? Like something that is just done, some sort of chapter that you're closing. Recent past, Empress, Lovers, 5 of Swords. Yes, in the past you have been betrayed. Your heart has been broken. You have been on by someone, somewhere, somehow it happened. That could have been 5 years ago. It could have been 3 years ago. It could have been 2 weeks ago. I don't know. But somebody on you, and you obviously did not enjoy that experience. You have been reflecting on it, maybe more so now than you have in a long time. And Seven of Swords talks about, like, again, ruminating in that betrayal, in that disrespect, in that sense of like, you were a freaking liar to my face, right? Eight of Pentacles, and I still tried to work on it. Like, even though that was disheartening and unapologetically wrong to me in my spirit, I kept working through it and I kept trying to stay. That ultimately in the present energy you're realizing became too heavy, the backpack became too heavy, you need to let some of those bricks out as you walk up the hill. Three of Wands, you want to see where your future is going. You want to really feel like you've got something to look forward to. And ultimately, like with that Knight of Swords energy, you are studying the past. King of Wands, understanding what you need in order to move forward. And then Wheel of Fortune to the Fool. In the current energy, nobody can convince you, Cancer, that you're not ready for a new beginning. So in this future coming energy, we've got the Page of Wands. Very interesting. It's all wands that we've got going on here. Wands are earth type energy. We've got the Queen of Swords clarifying the Page of Wands. You're no longer willing to put up with people that are giving you page energy. Page of Wands is very lustful, very like promising and new and shiny and kind of immature, right? It's the page, it's a baby. It's not a queen, it's not a king, and it's certainly not an empress, which was your first word to come out. The Knight of Pentacles clarifies the Ace of Swords. So, you know, this really talks about your Ace of Swords being some sort of truth that needs to be revealed. And then the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving card in the tarot. That knight does not run towards his goals. He methodically, he's the most trustful, but he methodically walks and patiently, you know, deciphers how he gets to his next task, right? Our last card here was the Knight of Swords, which is polar opposite energy of that Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords runs towards everything he's looking for. And what you got to clarify that is the Death card, which means you're done. You are absolutely, unapologetically done with your old ways, right? You're done with doing things the same way you've always done them. You're done with trusting so quickly. You're done with letting your heart butterfly flutters like get the best of you. You're done with like, you know, putting up with bullshit that doesn't align ultimately with what you really want and need from a partner. So let's look at your ultimate outcome here. For the Cancer Collective, please give me the ultimate outcome here with your best advice, universe, for Cancer in this current situation. First card that came out was the Queen of Pentacles, followed by the High Priestess, followed by the Tower. Felt that coming. Give me two more cards for Cancer for their outcome, please. Two more cards. Thank you. Okay, so after the Tower came the Two of Swords. Give me one last card for Cancer, please. One last card for Cancer. Thank you. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Here you go. So you got the Queen of Pentacles. She is the opposite of you, Cancer, my love. You are water, she is earth. She's a very grounded queen. She knows what she wants, she knows what she doesn't want, and she doesn't put up with anything less than what she knows that she wants. She's almost the Empress, but she's not quite there. But Empress was in your past energy, so you are quite there. The High Priestess talks about knowing your intuition. The Tower hit. Something happened recently. It's making you make a choice. Two of Swords. Like, do I want to stay with this person? Do I not? Is it for my best interest? Nine of Wands very much talks about, like, being real with yourself, Cancer, being realistic. You've been here before. The cards have already laid it out. It's a repeated pattern. You have been in situations in your past where you are staying with the person, expecting them to change, expecting them to grow, expecting them to expand, seeing their potential and not the reality. And you're sick and tired of living in that headspace. So the Tower has hit. Something is really causing you to, like, Two of Swords, make a choice. Let's just really quickly, I found this cute little toy in my son's room. So instead of pulling random dice like I normally do with these, I'm going to shake this one last time. And these are going to be the letters that are most likely in your orbit. So this could be a person that you are currently dealing with. It could be a state that you live in. It could be your first name, last name. It could be, you know, a plethora of things. Maybe a whole word comes out that resonates with you. Let me just grab a pen really quick and I will tell you what came out. So we have the letter N, we have A, L, E, we have O, M, M again, N, N, D, D, Z, O, U, J, and S. These are the letters that came out for you, Cancer. If any of these letters, you know, for whatever reason pop out to you as either the person's first name, last name, initial, middle initial, whatever it is, you know, it's just further confirmation that this reading is for you. My overall message for you, because I always like to leave it on a positive note, is a listen, bitch card. Let's do it. Give me one card for Cancer. What does Cancer need to know right now? Thank you. Today you got, listen, be a weirdo. There's power in that. What this is saying to you, Cancer, is, you know what? If you know, you know. The people that love you, be them friends, family, platonic romantic relationships. If you can't be your weirdest, most authentic, funkiest, silliest self, what are you doing? You're wearing a mask. And if you can't take that mask off and be loved for exactly who you are, cut them out. This is the message that I have for you today, Cancer, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.